So what's your favorite Disney movie? And if you answer anything other than Cinderella, well, you're wrong. And let's talk about that. Hi, it's me again. And this is going to be a new kind of video, which for now I'm just kind of dubbing creative commentary. And it's going to be like a video essay, deep dive commentary kind of thing, but from the perspective of me, a graphic designer. Does that make sense? I hope so. And the first victim of this series will be none other than everyone's favorite Disney princess, Cinderella. And if she isn't your favorite, then you're wrong. Okay, just kidding. But let me know who your favorite Disney princess or Disney character or just Disney movie in general. Let me know what that is down in the comments below. And also while you're down there, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Why am I doing this kind of video, you may ask? Well, I think at the core of it all of us creatives are storytellers. We all tell stories through the various different mediums that we work in. I, for example, as a graphic designer, tell the story of a business through a logo. If you're a photographer, you tell the story of a specific moment in time through a photo. If you're a writer, you're quite literally telling a story through the words that you're writing. And the list goes on for whatever other creative occupation you can think of. And I think it's kind of fun in a weird, nerdy designer kind of way to analyze other creatives' work and make my own conclusion as to what they were going for and what the various methods were that they used to, speak their message, and to analyze how effective that was or how not effective that was. Think of it almost like viewing a painting in a museum and trying to understand what the artist was going for with said painting. Again, all creatives are storytellers, even artists and painters.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
What this video is not going to be is just a straight up movie review. While I will be mentioning parts and certain aspects of the movie that I really like, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the character that is Cinderella and the message and virtues that I think the creative people over at Disney were trying to show and display when they were making this movie. And just because I like tying these kinds of things into my own personal life, making them a bit more practical than just for my own personal enjoyment, I'll also be mentioning how some of these virtues and messages are important and how we can apply them to our own everyday lives. Hopefully that makes sense. And I guess spoiler alert for both the animated and the live action Disney movies, if you for some reason haven't seen them, as I will be referencing and using clips from both of them. Before we start, I'm sure we all know the story, but just in case, here's a quick basic recap. So basically, the story is the same no matter which version you're watching. There's a girl named Cinderella, or Ella in the live action, who loses her father and is stuck living with her stepmother and stepsisters who mistreat her and force her into a life of servitude in her own home. One day there's a ball at the palace, and when her stepfamily does everything in their power to stop her from going to the ball, her fairy godmother appears and grants her everything she needs to go. At the ball, she dances with the prince, and they both fall in love. But then she has to leave before he can learn who she really is, as the fairy godmother's magic only lasts until midnight. So she runs away before the magic wears off, but not before leaving behind her glass slipper. The next day, as the prince searches for the girl who fits the glass slipper, her stepmother locks Cinderella in her room so she can't try on the slipper. But then she escapes, tries on the slipper, and lives happily ever after. The end. At its core, Cinderella is a very simple human story about a person having courage and remaining true to their values in the face of adversity and dark times in their life. And this is the first instance where I think the live action actually improves upon its predecessor, where in the first act, Cinderella's dying mother shares with her that the power of having courage and being kind will see her through all the challenges that life can offer. The quality of having courage and being kind is the greatest power that we can all display during dark or challenging times in our lives. And in Cinderella's case, it's a power that she uses to overcome the day-to-day challenge of being forced into servitude by her own stepfamily and eventually get her happy ending. And it's because of this unwavering kindness and empathy from Cinderella to all those around her, including the animals and even her own abusive stepfamily, that she's rewarded with strong friendships and bonds. Friendships that down the road are crucial to her success at pivotal moments in the story. Like when the mice help her with her dress before the ball, and when they help her escape from her imprisonment during the final act of the animated version. When I first saw the live action version and heard them mention that kindness has power, I definitely thought for a minute that they were going to give her some kind of superpower that would take away from her character. Kind of like what they did with the Mulan live action, which, if you know, you know. While I'm glad they didn't go that route, in a way, they kind of did give her a power. They gave her a power that actually we all have the ability to display in our everyday lives. One that, as we've seen, is rewarded, universally adored, and can help us overcome any kind of darkness in our lives. All we have to do is make the choice to tap into it, and that is the power of kindness. The second part to the Cinderella equation is courage. I think the classic song that I'm sure we all know and love from the animated version, "A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes," is a constant reminder of this as it plays at pivotal moments in the story, like in the beginning when the animals are helping her get ready for the day, or at the end when Cinderella finally marries the prince and lives happily ever after. I actually noticed this while rewatching the movie a million times for this video, but there's even a more somber instrumental version of the song that plays right after her stepsisters destroy her dress and transitions nicely into a happier version leading up to the fairy godmother appearing. A very nice touch, in my opinion. The song is just a great and catchy reminder for all of us to be a stone in the ground even when that seems impossible. In Cinderella's case, from the opening scene, it's made very clear that she lives with this relentless faith that good things will come to her even though her everyday life of servitude gives her absolutely no reason to believe that anything will ever change. This displays her courage to not only keep on believing no matter how much the circumstances may be stacked against her, but also the courage to remain true to oneself despite said circumstances. A trait and virtue that you just can't help but admire. And it's this kind of unwavering optimism, faith, and mental adversity that we can all use to overcome any challenges in our lives. A little bit of Disney history here, but it's also interesting to note that the original animated version of Cinderella was somewhat of a Cinderella story in and of itself. At the time of its release, Disney was on the verge of bankruptcy and would have most likely gone under had Cinderella not been the box office success that it ended up being. After the commercial failures of Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Bambi, as well as the effects of World War II on the European market, Disney was millions of dollars in debt and took a huge chance by producing Cinderella. By the time the film was done, the budget ended up being so large that Cinderella couldn't just be a regular success. It had to be a smash hit for the company to survive. Thankfully, the movie would end up being just that, and the rest is history. Is it really any wonder that Walt Disney's favorite piece of animation is the dress scene from this movie? Cinderella truly represents the original values of Disney that made them the household name that they are today. While I know we all love to see someone physically kick ass and overcome challenges through pure physical strength alone, trust me, I love me some UFC and some Marvel. Virtues like kindness and compassion are just as important, especially in a world like today that seems to value that less and less each day. If only more of us could be like Cinderella, then maybe we'd be much better off. But anyways, that's enough for me for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving a like and a subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you thought about this video and just this series as a whole. And if there's some other like movie or TV show or character or book or whatever that you think would be interesting for me to dive into, let me know what that is down below as well. But other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.